world champion coming out of the NFC East again. With a combined 12 world titles, the East is the most successful division, with the only team thus far without a champion, the ever-threatening Eagles. The closeness of these four teams' talent levels make this prediction tough. Obviously, the Giants, in my opinion, are the best. The Cowboys are overdue a solid season. The Redskins figure to get an awful lot better with that blockbuster trade of the off-season so far, having moved up to number 2 in the draft, taking the Rams pick from them for 3 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick. And they intend to use this second overall pick on Baylor's quarterback, Robert Griffin III, who, along with the addition of 3 slightly suspect big money signings in the receiver department, hope to improve the Redskins' offense dramatically. Now, yeah, the Redskins have taken Pierre Garçon along with 2 other slightly, so we say, second-rate receivers, and installed them as a triumvirate of passing weapons for quarterback-elect Robert Griffin. It's a bit of a head-scratching move to drop so much money on Garçon, who's been inconsistent at best throughout his time in the league with the Colts. Productive, yes, but there was a lot of drop balls and not a huge amount of consistency from a man that's now been paid like a true number 1 wideout. We'll see how he does. The Giants are going to lose their Super Bowl hero, Mario Manningham, through free agency, but needn't worry with Victor Cruz and Hakeem Nicks firmly entrenched in the lineup. They've got wideout options all over the park. Also, Jeremy Shockey, who won his first of 2 Super Bowls with the Giants in 2008, has been very vocal about his wish to return to the Giants. Shockey played for the Panthers last year on a 1-year contract after leaving the Super Bowl champion Saints, who are, of course, in an awful lot of trouble right now with Sean Payton's year-long suspension, Greg Williams having been suspended indefinitely for the bounty program that was reputedly run throughout his tenure as Saints defensive coordinator. Shockey's also offered himself very cheap. He says he'll come back and play for the minimum veteran salary, which is great value. The Giants should seriously look at signing him because he can still play, but more to the point, he offers a lot of experience, a lot of stability in the locker room, full of young men who have just won a world championship and maybe need stabilising somewhat. So, let's take a look at the Eagles. What should the Eagles do to get better? Well, they should do absolutely nothing. Everything was coming together for the Eagles at the end of last season. In pre-season in 2011, they were touted as the runaway Super Bowl favourites due to the addition of countless free agent signings and the emerging play of Michael Vick, who has found his feet and remembered how to use them as effectively as he did as a Falcon. Now he's back in the NFL. The Eagles really just stumbled out of a block to a really head-scratching start, but they really finished strong down the stretch to absolutely rinse their division. Ran through the NFC East, taking games off everybody. And if they can do that again this year and just pick up just 1 or 2 more victories elsewhere in those tight games they really should win, they should do well. And really, I think they should win the division this year, despite the Giants not really being that changed. The Giants are great postseason contenders. They win when they have to, but the regular season they always have a patch where they take their eye off the ball. Something goes a little bit wrong, something slips, nothing clicks for a while. So expect them to have a solid season, probably a 10-6 or 11-5. But the Eagles probably to take this one with 11-5 in tiebreakers, or maybe even a little better. So I fancy Chicago and Green Bay to feature in the playoffs this year, and I reckon that means there'll only be 1 wildcard spot remaining for the NFC East to take. The Lions and the Falcons will obviously threaten again from the north and the south, respectively. And if Kolb improves in Arizona, or if Matt Flynn finds his feet in Seattle, finds his hands, should I say, we could have contenders from the West as well coming out into the wildcard scenario. But the most likely result is that we will have 1 wildcard from the north, either the Packers or the Bears, and 1 wildcard from the east, probably the Giants or maybe the Eagles. If it does throw out 2 teams, then it should be the Giants and Eagles. It's too early to say how the Redskins will fare. Here they are. The beautiful classic logo that is. It's too early to say how the Redskins will fare, really, with a rookie QB under centre who will be throwing to this mediocre trio of number 1 receivers, as we've pointed out. They've been paid like guys like Fitzgerald and Johnson, so let's see if they can live up to the hype and the increased pressures of a more prominent role. the Dallas Cowboys. America's team have been rather maligned of late, but looked really good last year, and were it not for a horrendous mistake by very impressive coach Jason Garrett to ice his own kicker against the Cardinals and lose the Cowboys the game, they might have been in the playoffs instead of the guys that won it all. Will they offer anything this year? Yeah, of course they will. Romo always plays well. Troy Aikman has come out this week in NFL magazine and said that he believes Romo is a better quarterback than he ever was. Of course, Aikman's got 3 Super Bowls and his bronze bust already erected in the Hall of Fame, so he can say what he wants and be as nice as he likes, because nothing's going to change the fact that he's a legend, and Romo thus far is a bit of a wet fish. But we'll see if he can finally capitalise on those great stats and the talent that we know he has, and lead his team to postseason victory. The Cowboys are always good for a .500 record at least, but they are so much more talented than that. They've got players all over the field that can really make things happen. It's just, maybe it's an issue of leadership. I do believe in Garrett. I think Garrett is a good coach, and I think after another year in charge, he will definitely have the Cowboys in the playoffs. This year, though, don't be surprised to see him miss out. I mean, the Eagles, they look like they're about to catch something great, and the Giants should capitalise on last year's Super Bowl win, so I think it might be a stretch too far for the Cowboys, who will probably struggle against the Redskins as well, who look to be a little more dynamic with Shanahan calling the shots, with Griffin under centre, and a whole host of athletic players over the field. So my predictions: the Giants, they never get the respect that they deserve, and they also play in what is regarded, and what really is statistically, the toughest division in football, making it hard to call them immediate winners. And in fact, I think this year is for the Eagles. I reckon the Giants will sneak in as wildcard contenders in either the 5th or 6th seed. They'll win a bunch of games, but it shouldn't be enough to knock the Eagles off the top spot. I think the Redskins will accumulate a few wins, with Griffin playing hopefully up to the level of his fellow rookie counterpart this year, Cam Newton, who was the first rookie to eclipse 4,000 yards in passing, and I think Griffin will be an exciting playmaker, maybe in the mould of Michael Vick. He's very athletic, really one of the most mobile quarterbacks we've ever seen in the league, so he should be exciting, and I think he will force Washington to a few wins, but it won't be enough this year. And those receivers, I'm unconvinced, but I think they'll do a decent job, and maybe the Redskins moving in the right direction will attract some bigger name players, some marquee names to that team to play wide out next year. And yeah, the Cowboys, I think they're going to struggle against the might of the Eagles and the Giants, and their consistency and leadership from the top down. I think they'll probably outpunch the Redskins till third place in the division, but it could be a bit of a scrap for those two. I think all the teams will be around the .500 mark. I don't think anyone's going to really embarrass themselves this year, but it will be a long season for the two classic franchises, the Redskins and the Cowboys, combined, of course, for 8 Super Bowls, and a great storied history between them. Okay, so depending on the competency of the quarterback in the NFC West, there is a chance that the NFC East could throw out 2 wildcard spots. That is, of course, assuming either the Packers or the Bears collapse, the Falcons and the Lions forget to play football, and we could see any 3 of these teams in the playoffs. But my gut feeling is the Eagles will win, the Giants will get in as a wild card, most likely 6th seed, and then who knows what will happen come February. You just can't write off those Giants, can you? Okay, so that's the NFC East wrapped up. Next on the agenda will be an in-depth look at Peyton Manning's move to Denver and the eye-opening trade that sent Tim Tebow to New York.